So today I'm going to be taking a look at the Honor X7b, another budget phone from Honor released in December last year. I'm just going to be unboxing and going through my first impressions of the phone and see how much it differs from the X7a and X7 on those first impressions. So if you're interested, let's get into it. Okay, so here I have the new Honor X7b. Please bear with me with the lighting, I know it's not the best. But you just get a standard slim box, as you don't get a charger in the box with the X7b. And as you can see, I've got the 6 gigs of RAM model with 128 gigs of storage, and I've got it in emerald green. And then you've got a massive 5,330 milliamp hour battery. Now, in certain markets, there is a 6,000 milliamp hour battery model, but I've got the smaller one. You get that in Europe and Latin America, and the rest of the world gets the 6,000 milliamp hours. So you just unbox phone. So on top you get the phone, of course. Put that aside for a second. And then underneath that, you just get a cable with a bit of paperwork. And then of course your SIM pin. So I'm just going to get rid of that, pop that there. And here is the Honor X7b in emerald green. Looking really nice, looking very similar to the X7a and X7 that I have also done videos on, so check those out as well. Very poorly attempted to peel this front piece off. And there we have, let me just check. You do in fact get a pre-applied screen protector on the phone as well. So on the right of the phone, you've just got your power button with integrated fingerprint scanner and your volume rockers above that. On the bottom, you've got your USB-C charging port, which supports up to 35 watt fast charging, a microphone, 3.5mm headphone jack, which is nice to see, and a speaker grill. And then at the top, you just got an IR blaster and another microphone. And the left is your SIM tray for your SIM card and micro SD card. So overall, nice feeling phone. It's a nice matte finish on the back, so it should be pretty good at hiding fingerprints. I'm just going to power the phone on. So I'll just come back in a second when I put all my information in. Okay, so here is the Honor X7b. As you can see, it's a very similar overall design to the Honor X7a and the regular Honor X7. As I said, got the phone in emerald green and it's a nice matte finish. It does a pretty good job at hiding fingerprints. And then you've got that normal camera, dual camera ring on the back, 108 megapixels for the main camera, fast fingerprint scanner, he says. Wow. There we go. Maybe I just hit it funny. Having a few funny moments there. But yeah, pretty good. So onto the camera, you get 108 megapixels main camera. So that's a nice upgrade from the 50 megapixel main camera on the Honor X7a. They both have an f1.8 aperture, but this is a nice upgrade there. 9-in-1 pixel binning to give you 12 megapixel shots. And then you get the same 5 megapixel ultra wide camera on the X7b. I haven't had the best experience with Honor's ultra wides, especially these low resolution 5 megapixel ones, so I can't imagine it'll be very different. But if we just jump into the settings, and the first thing that I do on the Honor phones is just jump into home screen style and then add an apps drawer, which, as well as having a few apps there which you can then remove, you've got all your apps here and you can move stuff around as you wish. And then the second thing I do is drop down to system and updates, system navigation, and just for the purpose of this video, I'm just going to add the buttons on the bottom, but normally I use gestures. So going back into the settings, you've got your usual Wi-Fi, Bluetooth settings and mobile networks where you can do your mobile hotspot. More connection settings, you've got NFC, Honor Share, link to Windows, wireless projection, Android Auto, etc. Home screen and wallpaper. Now I quite like Honor's options for customizing the wallpaper and icon packs and themes, etc. I can't click on more icons because I haven't signed into my Honor account, but there are plenty more themes if you sign up for that. And then, like I said, home screen style, if you want to change that around, and then home screen settings, you can change the layout, 4 icons wide, 5 icons wide, tongue tied there. So yeah, plenty of customization options there. Display and brightness, you can flip between, of course, light and dark mode. And you can set auto switch. So in the evening, if you want it to switch to dark mode, you can. Eye comfort mode and sleep. So obviously you can set it for a more orange look to the display towards the end of the day. And then you've got font settings. So I forget you've got to agree to everything. Font settings there. Text size and boldness, which you can mess around with. Display size, you can increase the size of the display or make it smaller if you want. Color mode and temperature, so you can really tweak various parts of the display. And then of course you can set the refresh rate. It's set at dynamic out of the box, so it will refresh up to 90 Hz or down to 60 depending on what you're doing. Or you can set it to high all the time, or you can leave it on standard if you want to save a bit more power, but I don't think that'll be an issue. And if you jump into more display settings, full screen display for certain apps, and then the display cutout. If you want to hide the punch hole, which I can't see many people wanting to do, you can do that as well. Sound and vibration, which is just the usual bits. You can have 2 SIM cards, so you can set a ringtone for each individual SIM card, so you know which phone is ringing, which number is ringing, should I say, same phone. Notifications for your apps, you can really dive into those settings. Biometrics and password, of course I've already set the fingerprint ID, but you do have a face recognition, or you can just do a screen lock if you want to. Now this is similar to the notifications part with your apps, but of course you can tweak more than just your notifications. That was a bad example. Gallery. So you can set, that was a terrible one as well. Let's go on there. Here we go. Camera. So you can set, of course, your notifications, permissions, all that sort of stuff, location options for each individual app. Battery information, so you can enhance your performance with performance mode, which of course will use more power or save a lot of power by putting power saving mode on. And then you can change the position of the battery percentage icon. I just keep it outside. And then more battery settings, smart charge, smart battery capacity, so it just helps to prolong the life of your battery. Storage, of course, I've got 128 gigs. And that is expandable as well. And then you've got safety and emergency, so you can put emergency SOS, medical information, emergency contacts, etc. Security, so you can do app lock and all those other bits and bobs on there. Location information, for certain apps you can turn them on or off, or turn the whole lot off if you really want to. Yo-Yo Assistant, which is Honor's own virtual assistant, which I never use. And then you've got accessibility features, so you can tweak, color correction, magnification, text to speech, talk back, high contrast, all that sort of stuff. And then you can go into accounts. If you want to add an extra Google account in there, you can. System and updates. Magic OS version 7.2, and we are up to date, so there's no scheduled update at the moment for the Honor X7b. And then if we just go to About Phone, you've got the Snapdragon 680, 6 gigs of RAM plus 6 gigs of RAM Turbo, 128 gigs of storage, and then a 1080p display, which is a nice upgrade over the 720p display found on the Honor X7 and X7a. And this is an IPS LCD 90Hz display over the TFT LCD found on the Honor X7a, which if I remember rightly was just a 60Hz display, but you did get a 90Hz on the Honor X7. So kind of weird decisions on refresh rate or no refresh rate, etc. And then if I just jump into the camera, I'll take a couple of sample photos. Main camera, ultra wide, and then the 2x digital zoom, which just crops that 108 megapixel sensor. So 2x zoom, ultra wide, which is just the 5 megapixel ultra wide. I haven't had the best experience using those ultra wides on the Honor phones. And then the main 108 megapixel camera there. And then you have got, of course, a portrait mode, a night mode, aperture mode, go away, video mode, which 1080p video, 30 FPS is the maximum frame rate on the video capabilities. And then if you just jump into more, you've got a plethora of other options as well. So you get super macro, because there is a macro camera, dual view, HDR photo, time lapse, slow-mo, and pro mode. And then if we flip to the front facing camera, is an 8 megapixel camera, which does 1080p at 30 FPS as well. So that's my quick look at the Honor X7b. I'll be interested to see how it performs, because other Snapdragon 680 phones that I've used, like the Oppo Reno 7 and Motorola G32, were great, but then the Samsung A05s was a bit of a stuttery mess. So I'll be interested to see how the X7b performs. Seems alright at the moment, seems pretty well optimized. So we will see. Check out those other videos, the X7a and the X7, if you're interested in those videos, and subscribe so you don't miss when I upload my full review on this phone. And I'll see you there.